taste it. It's my sweet beginning.
Hey there everyone, Monk7Mad here today with 100 subscribers. Oh yeah, doing a little dance in the chair right here. And, you know, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed. It has been spectacular, to say the least. So thank you very much. As a way for me to give something back, I've made two little graphics packs. I've had to split them up due to file size when uploading. But I just wanted to show you what's in each pack, just so you get the brief gist, so you don't download both and waste some time if you don't want both, that is. Which you clearly will, by the way. So the first pack, we've got some really useful 3D text. Now this I know particularly will be quite helpful for those that don't have things like Cinema 4D but want to put their names in 3D on a page. And you know, you could just cut them out inside Photoshop, shift them around. They're all PNG files, so that'll be really quite handy. I've just tried to make a selection of all sorts of things, so things like abstract renders, some city scenery. This is more for Photoshop manipulations, the city scenery, but there's some spectacular pictures in here as well. Some of them truly are brilliant pictures. But again, it's just down to what your preference is. In the file here, I just want to point this out very quickly. I just want to say that, you know, most of this stuff has been taken from other graphics packs, and I don't own or have made everything. I know that there are a couple bits here and there which I have made, which aren't labelled, but you know, I just want to say that if you know anyone who made some of the stuff to begin with, like I know, for example, the flares that I'm about to show you I made, you can tell. But you know, I tried to vary them as much as I could from some of the originals that you may have seen, and some of them turned out really weird. I really found that one to be quite a weird one. Just a basic stretch one, and this one I particularly like. It looks like a bit of a supernova in 3D. But yeah, there's just a variety of things. I thought if you're going to download your first graphics pack or something like this, is probably one of the better ones because you get a bit of everything. We've got some fire, some character renders, and they've got names on them of who actually rendered them. So those ones I don't really need to give too much credit for because you'll see who made them anyway. The light file is actually a really good one purely because this is most of the stuff that I actually use to make my own backgrounds and bits and pieces. Just throw them under a color correction or two, they come up trumps. There's some stock footage, you know, paint splashes and all sorts. Then we've got some scan lines and a matrix. These are basically to use as a substitute instead of patterns. Just if you wanted to put them on a background or something, you just turn the opacity down to about 30% and the blend mode to overlay. This one here is some simple flares, you know, just handy for just everything really. I didn't know whether to do this pack on this little bit or not, but there's some water, and I know some of you might be thinking, water? But basically, you know, I think these are really quite nice. You can mix them in with a lot of backgrounds, especially with photo manipulations again. But you know, I just thought they were quite nice and something different. And then there's some wireframes, and these are actually really handy. Some of you may have seen some text on some channels which have like a copy of the text on top but only in wire. That's the sort of thing you might be able to create from some of these if you do it right. And that is pretty much pack 1, so if you're interested in that, the link for that is in the description under pack 1. The second graphics pack is mainly a textures based folder. There's also some YouTube backgrounds and stuff in them. I just want to show you this one. This is one I actually made that's more or less complete. This one you just add your text to it, perhaps using the text from text 1 if you wanted it in 3D. And at the moment it looks pretty plain. I've reopened it up in Photoshop, but I've added 3 color corrections in it, and you can move the color corrections to other folders. But you know, these you know, they transform the background quite a lot. So the first one's a red one, then I did a phase styled green one, and then a Darth phase sort of turquoisey blue, but again more grey as well. I didn't know which one to go with, so I just turned it off to start with. But you can put your text in there and transform it around for yourself. And there's 2 just basic templates of the backgrounds, nothing on them, just the layout. In the textures folder, we have some abstract textures of all sorts, things like waves and just a variety of bits and pieces. I've tried to keep a large variety. Some of these, though, you may have seen before, but it's handy to have a bit of everything. There's some grunge textures which most of them look the same, so I've tried to pick the most varied. Again, there's things like light streaks which are different. Then we got metal. Now most of these are actually the same, but or look the same anyway, but they can just come in handy. As a graphic designer, you just sort of collect a bit of everything. That includes things like these, the patterns, which just put them on your background, turn the opacity down, and away we go. We've got some scratch textures. There's not very many of these actually. I don't really have many of these. In fact, that is all I have of scratch textures. I'll have to have a look for some more. Now this one, the planetary images, are sort of leaving the best till last. I use pretty much all of these more or less every time I make a background. I vary between which ones I use, but most of these are pretty cool, and really like spacey stuff, and they're really good for YouTube backgrounds. So that is pack 2. So that is both the packs. The links are in the description. Thank you for 100 subscribers, guys. I hope that we can keep pushing and boost it a little bit more, but for the time being, 100 subscribers is great. So thank you. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Enjoy the graphics packs, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. Take care.